expand these menus down. Now, of course, starting with this, you notice I don't have a lot of space. So you're going to need space. You may need the inside and the outside of your folder. You might need a second folder if you're choosing a really big site. I would say choose a small enough site that would fit comfortably or fit in that folder. You might have to squeeze things together a little bit, but it's a great way to do it. Here on this tool, if you start using this tool, you'll see I've already prepped below here. I'm going to just grab this little handle here. And when you start to learn to use this tool, it's a great tool to use. You can expand it out. All right. So let's take a quick look over here at the site, and you'll notice birthday's got a lot of stuff. You'll notice that sympathy's got a lot of stuff. Everything has a lot of stuff. And these, I don't remember if I said this before, this is called a mega menu. It allows you to have, like for example, with occasions, you've got everyday occasions and you've got seasonal occasions. So you can do a little bit more. You can even put coupons in here. Shop by. Look at this one. This is such a cool idea. You have your shopping by flowers, by specific flower breeds and species. You've got shop by color. That's a big deal. And you can actually then go further than just your primary colors that are flowers. You can go and say, hey, there's a full gamut of colors I could choose from. Maybe there's a signature series or collection, an occasion you're trying to go for, shopping by occasion, which apparently that would be this here, but you might have somebody that says, hey, I want to think about colors. Maybe I want colors, but I want colors for sympathy. Maybe I want blue flowers because that was their favorite for anniversary. And then, of course, they've got their WOW collection, which doesn't seem to have anything underneath it, so you'd have to click to go see that. You've got plants. It has no submenu. I want you to notice that the submenu hint is right here. This little arrow shows you that there's a submenu. You've got need help, you've got shop and my account. I'm not going to worry about those. Let's start building these out. All right, so you've seen that I've done a little bit of prep work here. So let's dive in and let's take a quick look. I'm going to focus on some of these that have this mega menu where I think it makes the most sense. For example, under sympathy. Now, I don't want you to think about having a mega menu, but I felt like it was worth exploring because it gives you so much more ideas as to how people could categorize, even under primary categories. You've got a primary category, and then and underneath that you've got subcategories. So here we've got sympathy. Sure, you can choose all sympathy flowers or plants or anything like that. Now you've got flowers, you've got plants, you've got roses. You also want to be able to say, hey, I want this person for sympathy to search by location. Is it going to be graveside? Is it going to be inside of a service, for the service? A sympathy plant to give to someone to take to their home or office, or food baskets. And then, of course, there's other things. I'm just not going into all that. You've got occasions. You got birthday, love, romance, anniversary, get well soon, and so on. But then you get this shop by. Remember that one? It actually had 3 columns of categories. It had all, and then best selling, and then flower types, and roses, and gardenias, and so on, and so on, and so on. And then it said you could shop by color. And it gave you a handful of probably the most popular colors. And then when you got to the bottom, it says, dig deeper, find more colors. And it gave you a 3rd column. So think about how you're going to do that. If you find one with a mega menu, this might be the way I would do it. I don't know that I would go on ahead and put lines connecting these. Don't worry about lines. And if you got lines on your folder, erase them if you can. Just simply have them underneath. I'm sure all of us, our brains can fill in the lines. And of course, we had other things that didn't have submenus. So of course, don't try to make anything up. But I want you to go on ahead and start working on building out your submenus. Do that, and here's the thing. This may take a little while if you've got a really big and kind of spider web shaped site, just kind of goes everywhere. So take your time, detail out as many of those as you can. You'll notice that I limited my word choice, whereas it says all But if I go to the website and I go to occasions or go to sympathy, it says all sympathy. I just said all. Flowers for the service, and I just said for the service. So feel free to abbreviate your notes there. All right. So you go and dig into your submenus and start detailing those out to the best of your ability using your post-it notes and kind of stacking them and getting them in there as neatly as possible. But I understand you only have a folder to hold these in. If you want to try to grab a piece of poster board and do it that way, that's fine too. Anyway, I will see you in the next video where we will detail out our next steps of exploring the website. All right, see ya.